Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Berardi, Zerbi, Magnanelli, Max Allegri, what do all these men have in common? Trying to give you an answer on that one, of course the saga Lukaku, but also understanding what Cristiano Giuntoli did from the moment that he was announced and when he said we have to shrink the team to today. A mega update on that one, of course predicted lineup, but most importantly, and I think you will be really happy, we have new announcements, two other ones. If yesterday we started with Romeo Agresti announcing that he will be a resident on this channel every single Thursday at 11 p.m. live to answer your question, the latest of Agresti, and I already explained to you, we have a new one. Let me first start with another announcement, a small one, but always a nice one. On Sunday, against Udinese, Juventus will play with a third kit. I already anticipate you that, so that you are happy, so that you are aware. So that's exclusive news. I don't know if it will still be exclusive when you watch the video, but anyway, it's a nice thing to know. But then the other announcement is Romeo Agresti collab. It's not over, because on his YouTube channel, every post-game, so if we are playing on Saturday, it will be on Sunday. If we are playing on Sunday, it will be on Monday. But the day after, on his channel, in English, I will be his guest, speaking about the game, going in detail, some ratings, and so on, answering again, because it will be live, all your questions and taking your comments. It will be totally fun. So double content in English. And if you want to make me a pleasure, after putting a maximum of like on this video, after continuing to subscribe, go to Romeo Agresti's YouTube channel. You can find it typing in Romeo Agresti, and in the comment section, can you please write grazie Romeo here from GJustjuve. He will be spammed and he will be super happy to see the support of the English speaking community. But ragazzi, already it's 2 minutes of intro, now it's time to start speaking about that Zerbi, Magnanelli, Berardi, Allegri connection, because on Gazzetta dello Sport double page interview written in really small because he had a lot of things to say. We know that the ego of Zerbi is quite huge, it's quite big. I read everything with a lot of interest. I was really interested, but there was something that caught my eye more than the other things when he spoke about the talent that he loved to see growing the most in his career. And he was speaking about two players that he was coaching when he was at Sassuolo. The first one is a player that is in our team, Manu Locatelli, that he said, I would love, and that's the first name also that he said, Manu Locatelli is the player that I love to see growing the most. I would take him everywhere. So Mercato is closed for Locatelli, is going nowhere. But maybe also a lot of lovers of the beautiful game of Zerbi, when they hear him speaking so well about Locatelli, well, probably they can reconsider their opinion about Loca. That, I tell you, I have a big esteem of this guy. But then he spoke about another player, a player that could possibly today, tomorrow, next week, before the end of Mercato, become a Juve player, speaking about Domenico Berardi, Mimmo for the in-teams, for the friends. And he said, yes, also Berardi is a player that I love to see developing so much. It's a player that when he's playing football, he's playing it as a kid. He loves to have fun, he loves the game. He's a really, really kind and good guy. Introvert person, like not a lot, like a few. Speaking about these kind of players, then of course you will tell me, Beppe, why are you speaking about him? Because on internet I discovered a next old picture when Magnanelli, that is now in the staff of Max Allegri, was between Zerbi and Max Allegri. We already spoke with a lot of positive things about Magnanelli since his arrival this season, and all the work he did in pre-season in terms of high pressing, playing vertical, offensive pattern, and so on. A man that has been chosen particularly by Max Allegri. He wanted him in his staff, and for the first time in his career he left Sassuolo, where he played first as a player, becoming the captain, did all his career with the Nero Verdi, and also was coached by Zerbi. Intelligent man. Is he the man that will be able to stop the endless debate between result, Max Allegri, and beautiful game, repeated endlessly by Zerbi? Is he the man that will be able to make a fusion of these two and having best of both worlds? Well, I wish so, because luckily Magnanelli is in our team. I can't wait to see the game of Max Allegri with the addition of a Magnanelli. Attenzione, because we are not speaking a lot about him, but he can bring us a lot of beautiful surprises. And if we can have the best of both worlds, playing well, alla De Zerbi, without exaggerating, of course, with the result-focused minded of Max Allegri, 23-24 can be a beautiful season. Now, what is the missing link? What is the link between all these players, all these coaches? Well, it is Berardi. Corriere dello Sport is continuing to insist, Berardi, c'è l'offerta, Berardi, there is the offer. We will come back on what the offer is, because if yesterday I told you, pay attention, Berardi, he wants to leave Sassuolo as soon as possible, even before the start of Serie A. They are playing on Sunday, so that means that we have still today, tomorrow and Saturday for him to leave Sassuolo. Otherwise, we see him playing with Sassuolo the first game of Serie A. Pay attention, it can be really fast. But now, what did Cristiano Giuntoli do since that he arrived at Juve on the 7th of July? Look at the squad list of the 30 players that should have traveled to USA, because at the end it was 29 without Fagioli, that initially was called up, and then in terms of precaution we said that he stayed in La Continassa to recuperate until a few days ago, where he played that friendly and he was okay, so we will probably see him on the bench against Udinese. Well, 29 players, and then you see the Excel sheet that I made yesterday with 45 players initially in the team of Giuntoli. And in his press conference he said, one of my big mission is to shrink the team, to give Max Allegri a team where he can work with all the players that feel involved, because when you have 44 players, they are way too much, and a lot of players are creating toxicity because they are not involved, because they don't play, especially with one game a week, because we are participating to only one competition. Well, the work of Giuntoli has been until now, because we still have 2 weeks, immense if we are looking at quantity, because we were able to shrink that initial 45 players to 28 at the moment, plus 4 that are out of the project. Who are these 4 ones where we have to find a solution really quickly? Bonucci, Frabotta, Felix Correa and Marco Piazza. 4 players that will not reintegrate the team, with the only question about Caio Jorge, will he go to next gen or will he go on loan somewhere else? That's a big question. Also, Frosinone, after having signed on loan Barrenechea, is looking for Caio Jorge. So we see that we have here still a lot of players, because 28 included Caio Jorge are still a lot of players, where the target should be 24, and you can see it immediately with your eye that in the midfield at the moment, without new reinforcement, we are with 7. 7 is too much if we are playing with a 3-man midfield. In the defense, 6, 3 goalkeepers, so on this kind of ratio on the back side of the field we are okay. And then you see that you have a lot of players that are actually wingers, Ealing Jr., Sule, even Yildiz, Federico Chiesa, that will play in that 3-5-2 as a second striker, but we know it, he's a high offensive winger on the left or on the right. You have so many players there that at the moment we don't know. A Wea, a Cambiaso, a Kostic, and so on and so on. So at the moment, too many players with what we have. So the big question is, why are we still linked with Berardi? Why are we still linked with Lukaku? How is it possible that these players are linked to Juve? If we are looking only on quantity, it's not possible, because we are too much. So that means that we have to continue to shrink the team. Continuing to shrink the team, you will tell me, Beppe, it's easy. Sell Weston McKennie, sell Kostic, sell whoever you want, Bonucci, Piazza, or whoever, and then we make space for this player. The problem is that if you go back to that list, what did Giuntoli do? Because under pressure of shrinking the team means that we sold only, definitely, Zakaria. That didn't bring us a lot in our books in terms of positive return on investment, because it was around 5 million euro only from the 20 million that came in the treasury of Juve. Rovella on loan for 2 years, Pellegrini on loan, and even when and if they will be signed permanently by Lazio, the amount is not big. 4 million for Pellegrini, 17 for Rovella. Yes, there will be a percentage on the resale for Rovella, but that's in the real late future. The winter on loan with an obligation to buy at certain condition, but for next year, and so on and so on and so on. So I tell you, except of Kulusevski, before Giuntoli and Zaccaria, not a lot of money entered Juve. We were able to save a lot in terms of salary, but we are not there yet. So how can we go and sign a player alla Berardi, alla Lukaku? Well, you know it, the saga Lukaku has always been linked with a Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic that doesn't want to go to Chelsea. Chelsea that doesn't want to increase their offer. So we are looking to alternatives, and an alternative is Moise Kean. At the moment, I tell you, nobody is untouchable. Moise Kean, youth product of Juve that came back home, well, he has been signed in total for 35 million euro. 3 million euro for the first year on loan, 4 million for the second one, and 28 to sign him actually this season totally. So it's a player that you can't just loan to Milan for 5 million euro. If you want to make him go away, to make space for Lukaku, you have to sell him. And I highly doubt that today you can go with a 40 million euro offer for Moise Kean. So you have to check for other initiatives, for other offers, for other players to sell, to put on the market. And it's not a mystery that today Juventini, they are still not sure if Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic are 100% staying in that team. At the moment, Max Allegri is working with them. And that's what he said on the papers. I work with them. They are part of the project. Technically, they are not in doubt. But if huge offer arrives in terms of liquidity, I will not speak. It's the management that will think about it. What did the management said with Giuntoli? Well, if big, huge offers arrive, we will sit on the table. And that's where we can't be reassured about Moise Kean, about Chiesa, about Vlahovic, because these men, Berardi, with a much lower salary, 3 million euro, apparently, that's what has been agreed, and Lukaku, that can bring you a big plusvalenza on Dusan Vlahovic, pay attention. So Juventus, they want to avoid doing that, and that's why they are putting in the deal for Berardi a young player like an Ealing Jr., or a Sule that has been denied by Sassuolo. They don't want Sule. But I'm thinking even further. If we sign Lukaku and Berardi, keeping Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic, well, we go towards a lineup that is beautiful on paper, but that makes no sense for me. Look at the lineup. 4-2-4, because if you sign Berardi and Lukaku, you let them play. If you keep Vlahovic and Chiesa, they play. You go towards a 4-2-4 with Cambiaso and Weah that played all summer long offensively, with Cambiaso that told you I love more attacking than defending, a Weah that tell you I am really a winger and I need to progress on my defensive skills. Well, you put these two as your left and right back. You play with Chiesa and Berardi on the wings offensively, and you play with Dusan Vlahovic and Lukaku on top, 4-2-4, with only two midfielders, Rabiot and Locatelli. And you don't know when Pogba will come, because if Pogba is ready in September, how many players will you put on out of your team from your midfield? Miretti, Nicolussi, what about Fagioli, what about Locatelli if Pogba is coming back? So many problems. So it's a team that for me, yeah, beautiful on paper, on FIFA, whatever you want, but in reality can't happen. So Lukaku and Berardi looks totally crazy, and if these two would arrive, that means that, oh ragazzi, or a Chiesa or a Vlahovic can leave. So the 2 weeks of Mercato that are remaining, according to me, will be fire, will be hot, with a lot of news. Will something happen? Maybe totally not, maybe a lot of things. I'm not reassured at the moment. What is the offer for Berardi? Well, Sassuolo, you know it, it's always 40 million. This time they made a discount because they are asking 35 to Juve, where Juve said, no, we give you 20. At the end, according to Corriere, they could potentially agree to 27 million plus a Ealing Jr. on loan. Attenzione, on loan, because Juventus doesn't want to lose control on the player. I tell you honestly, I understand that we are too much on the left side. Cambiaso that looks to be a starter. A Kostic, an Ealing Jr., we are way too many there. On the other side, only Weah is on the right side. So I could potentially even understand that you're looking for a right side player. Ragazzi, Ealing for Berardi. I don't know. I'm still not convinced. What about Tuttosport? Well, they are confirming that news with Berardi, Lukaku, fino alla fine. They will continue until the end to push. So it's coming from different papers. And when you see the new attacks of Gazzetta dello Sport on Lukaku, it means that they are still scared. Why? Because if Lukaku was already a contract hunter, he became a businessman, he was overweight, and he became also a traitor on Gazzetta dello Sport, well, today he became the money man, l'uomo dei soldi. So, you know, when we start speaking about this kind of adjective, it means that something is happening. Attenzione, because we have a predicted lineup, and that will be the last news of the day. Predicted lineup, I gave you mine a few days ago with Perin in the goal, Alexandro, Bremer and Danilo in defense. Danilo to cover the backs of Weah, that will be on the right. Cambiaso should be a regular starter on the left. Then we have Rabiot, Locatelli, Miretti up front, Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic. The only change is that Szczesny looks that he is fit again. Yesterday, fantastic interview where he said, I prefer to have fun in my life. Money, I already earn a lot of money. I don't need more money, but I want a challenge that is attractive, and my challenge is Juventus at the moment. So really beautiful words, a lot of values there. He didn't criticize other players that are taking the decision to go to Saudi Arabia League, but he said, for me personally, I have other values in life, more and bigger than money, that I am already earning a lot. So beautiful words for Szczesny, that not only is showing that he's a great goalkeeper, but also a really fantastic person. I had the opportunity and the luck and the honor to speak with him live in backstage, and then in front of all the people on Twitch with him. And I have to say that day after day, the Polish number one is really sincerely growing in my heart. Let me know all your comments here. Don't forget to go to Romeo Agresti's channel, YouTube, last video, and you write him that message. Grazie Romeo, here from GJustjuve. Grazie, forza, Juve.